This is the second biggest component of this unit. Got it? So we're going to talk about odds first, and then we're going to talk about converting odds to probability, but just odds at first. One thing about odds, and I would say have this on your study sheet, it does not show the total number of outcomes. It's very important that you understand that. What odds is doing is odds is comparing, right? We compare desired and undesired events. What does that mean? Drawing a red queen, not drawing a red queen. Okay, so it's always the opposite of what you're trying to find. Okay, so you can think of it in three ways. Okay, desired events, undesired events, or you can think of it happening, it not happening, or in favor and against. Okay. On page 16 here, so I have one thing. I need to make sure I add that. Yes. So I want you to make sure you understand. Probability will always be will usually be a fraction, and you've got a number up top over total. Okay. Odds, on the other hand, two things are different about odds. The first thing is that you're going to have a colon like this, and you're going to have a number here and another number over here. And both of these add up to your total. That's how probability and odds are significantly different. Probability says how many events are there that we want. So 2 red queens, it'd be 2 over 52, right? If you want to talk about red queens, it would be 2. And how many are not red queens? 50, right? 2 to 50. So that's how this is different. This one has no total. No total showing up here. It's just that if you want to check, you add them up. I'm going to skip this diagram here. I found that over time, this is a little confusing when I just jump into that diagram. So let's just put it on the back burner, and if time allows, I might come back to it. Instead, I want you to, we're going to skip a few pages. I inserted a blank section, and it goes all the way to 26. All right, guys? So skip, skip, skip. We're going to come back to it, but for now, go to 26. Odds in favor, odds against. So that's just a reminder there. Just in favor, if it says odds in favor, we want the events for it happening first and not happening second. If it says odds against, you'll have it not happening first and it happening next. Let it sink in for a moment. So whenever I give you probability, I have to say probability of something, right? Of it raining, of me coming to work, anything that has to be something attached to probability. Same with odds. Odds will have to have in favor next to it or odds against the event happening. So it cannot be done otherwise. If I just say odds and I don't have this following it, I'm not giving you enough information. Okay, so here's my summary of converting between. Let me see here. I have an example. Okay, you ready? If you want to go from probability, this is study sheet material right here. If you want to go from probability and you want to go to odds, you want to convert from probability to odds, this is how you do it. Let's say probability of rain is 3 over 5. Probably if it's raining tomorrow is 3 over 5. Hopefully not, right? Sounded like a water bottle. Anyways, 3 over 5. If you want to turn this to odds, okay, you say if it's odds in favor, odds for raining, you would go 3. And then on the other side, what would you put on the other side? Would you put the 5 there? Don't put the 5 there. It's 2. 3 out of the 5 times it's going to rain, and therefore 2 out of the 5 times it's not going to rain. So this would be rain, and this is not rain. That's basically what you're saying there. Let's do one more. Probability of a student being late on any given day. And if this is you got to stop that, right? You got to be in time if you can. 99 over 100, okay? How would I turn this into odds? Odds in favor of someone being late. I would go 99. What goes on the other side? 1. Okay? But watch what I'm going to do. Instead of just putting 1 down, I'll take my total here, and I go minus 99. And that ends up being 99 to 1. Okay, so this is what I was after there. So this is, I would say you probably only need 1 example, then you're good to go. But I'm giving you 2. So the heading of this is going from probability to odds. The next heading is, I'm going to cut this right here. We're going to go from odds to probability. So let's say the odds of the Blue Jays winning, I think they're playing tomorrow, right? I think so. Let's say them winning the championship is 5-2. Then the probability of winning is going to be, do you remember what these two should add up to? These should add up to the total. Probability wants the total in the denominator. So we're going to go 5 plus 2. You add these two numbers up. You put the 5 on top because this is winning, this is not winning. That would mean that it's 5 over 7. That's the probability of the Blue Jays winning. Probability. And if you ever want to know who has a better chance of winning, turn everything to a probability and figure it out from there. Another one. Odds of you. I heard a good one the other day. I saw a commercial. It was actually pretty funny. Let's say the odds of someone stealing your phone in New York is 30 out of 101. Oh, out of? Mr. Dirksen, you said out of. It's 30 to 101. I'm not saying out of. I'm saying 30 times somebody's going to steal your phone, 101 times somebody's not going to steal your phone. And let's say you want the probability of this. The first thing I want you to do is add these two up. 30 plus 101. And you have to read carefully. I'm going to go into more detail later, but if it's probability of stealing, then we want the 30 on top because that represents the number of times a phone will be stolen. So this is 30 over 131. Is a very simplified version of what we're learning later today and what you're going to be working on, but it's going to help you. So this is the heading for this entry on your study sheet. And last but not least, this one is easy, but students forget this all the time. So I'm going to cross this out. If you're going from odds 4 and you're supposed to go odds against, I haven't done this one before, you're the first group, so I'm going to go arrow both ways. Right? If you're given odds, and I tell you that the odds are 5 to 17, the question tells you the odds in favor of something happening is 5 to 17. And that same question asks you, what are the odds against? The only thing you do is you flip it. So you put the 17 in front, and you put the 5 next to it like that. So please don't be doing some fancy subtracting or adding. If you're going from odds to odds, if you go from odds to odds, just flip it. Vice versa. So let's say they give you the odds against, they want the odds in favor, flip it. Flip it, flip it, flip it. That's all you do. Some students, they go, oh yeah, Mr. Erickson told me, oh yeah, adding, odds, adding, I'm just going to add these two together. And it's like, no, it's all wrong now. Okay? So it's just, you couldn't really see that, could you? It's just flip it, that's all. And if you need to highlight, I'm going to have the 5 here, the 5 there. And let's do green. Okay, you notice that the green is second here, but it's first there. So it's just flip the order of the numbers. That's it. So this is what I'm going to ask you today. For as you work through these examples, you're going to go through this cheat sheet and help you decide what do I need to do. Okay. All right, let's do a couple of examples. Keep your finger on 26 or fold the corner on 26 so you can come back to it and you won't lose it. Okay? All right. I know you're getting tired of me talking, so we're going to try to make this quick. Let's go to 16, bottom of 16. Just hang in there and then I'll try to make it quick and painless. 16. The odds, 10, right? You know this is colon, of, that's the number 2, that's in favor, of what? Of the Jets winning. The odds in favor of the Jets winning the next game are 8 to 2. That means that they'll be winning 8 games and losing 2 games. And that's the ratio. Just because of this wording, guys, the first number represents winning. The second number represents, what's the opposite of winning? Losing. But we're going to go like this, not winning. Okay? We're just going to focus on winning, not winning. Mr. Dirksen, how did you know? Because I read odds of in favor of winning. This is W. So that means that W is first and not W is second. Okay, we've got that figured out. Explain what the numbers represent. This is what it means. For every 10 games, Mr. Dirksen, where did you get the 10 from? 8 plus 2, right? I know that I'm considering 10 games here. For every 10 games, 8 will be won and 2 will be lost. That's what that's saying. State the odds against the Jets winning the next game. What would you do? Are we going from odds to odds? We're going from odds to odds. One is in favor, and we want to state this one against, so just flip. So we're just going to put the 2 in front and the 8 after it like that. That's it. You're done. This still represents winning, guys. The first number represents not winning. We just put that up front because this is kind of saying the odds against. Okay. Next, state the probability of the Jets winning the next game. Whoa, you see that? Probability now. So what are we given? We are given odds, right? Let's take that and turn it into a probability. So we're going to go from odds to probability. Check page 26 for this one. What will go in the denominator? 8 plus 2 or 10. You can go straight to 10. You don't have to show me the 8 plus 2. And what will go on top? It says probability of winning, right? So we want the 8 to be on top because we're interested in how many times are we winning. 8. 8 out of 10, which is, if you reduce that, 2 goes into both of them, right? 4 over 5, which is 0.8, which is 80%. There's an 80% chance of the Jets winning the next game. So if you get a team like we're playing the Blackhawks, right? When are we playing them? Today or tomorrow? Today? Okay. So Jonathan Taves is going to versus former team, if you follow hockey at all. So let's say they have different odds, right? And you're like, wait a minute, odds are so confusing, honestly. Turn both of their odds into a probability, and then you'll know who's more likely to win. Probability is the one to compare which one is more likely. State the probability of the Jets losing. I'm going to go back to the original odds. We're going to go from odds to probability. Okay, odds to probability. And I have these odds. So guess what? I'm still going to go 8 plus 2. Because that's what you must do for sure. If you go from odds to probability, add those two numbers up. Add these two up, and you've got your denominator. What goes on top? Jets losing. Which one of these two represents losing? The 2. So that goes on top. So there'll be 2 over 10, which is 20%, right? It's 1 over 5, and that's 20%. And it shouldn't surprise you, right? Look at this. 80% chance of winning, 20% chance of losing. I don't think that should surprise you. We talked about that yesterday, right? I'm trying to make a full circle here. Okay. Now, I'm just going to get you to work and as far as you can get today. And I'm here to help you. So this is not the chance for you to just do whatever. Okay, this is a chance to get this done. So I'm going to go 16 all the way to 22. Will you get stuck? Probably, because that probability is one of those that can't. It's not like sine law, cosine law. It's like if you have a pair, it works every time. You have to kind of be careful. What is happening here? Decipher, read carefully. Read page 26. Have that on your study sheet. Okay? Try to see what's happening. Am I going from odds to odds? Am I going from odds to probability? Am I going from probability to odds? What am I doing here? And try to really wrap your head around this. Okay? I'll be back. But for now, it's you time. The spinner, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total, right? The odds of the spinner landing on green, there's 2 green, right? So you basically want green, and what is it going to be on the other side? What number? You want not green. That is how odds work. So you've got 2 green, and therefore how many are not green? 6. There we go. get into reducing if you can. 2 goes into both of them, right? You can divide both of them by 2. So this is 1 to 3, just in case the province does a multiple choice on you, okay? Then you know how to do that. And it's usually they're not crazy numbers. They're fairly doable when it comes to reducing. So one side is probability, one side is odds, and I kind of do that on purpose to get you to think about what's happening.